Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Tanel channel. My name is Tanel and today I have another video review for you guys. So today I'm gonna give my verdict for the MSI GE62VR 6RF Apache Pro laptop, which is a pretty decent little gaming laptop that has a GTX1060 in it and costs around 1500 euros here where I live in Estonia. I did check out Amazon prices also, and it was around 1200 bucks for the cheapest version. But yeah, in today's video we're gonna check it out, how good it is, how does it perform in all kinds of games, how are the temperatures and stuff like that. So if you wanna learn a little bit about those things, then I guess you should stick around. Alright, so now that you've seen a small little sneak peek video from the laptop, I mean, it does look pretty decent, but there are definitely places where to improve it. Anyway, first things first, let's start with the specifications. So this model here does come with an Intel Core i7-6700HQ processor, which is running on 2.6 GHz but goes up to 3.5 GHz while gaming. And of course, it has 4 cores and 8 threads. Next, it has a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 with 3 gigs of GDDR5 memory. Kinda on the low side from the memory size, but don't be fooled by the memory size. It has nothing to do with performance. Also, it has two 8GB DDR4 memory modules, making it a total of 16 gigs of DDR4 memory, which are running at 2400 MHz. For the main storage, it houses a 256GB Toshiba HG6 series M.2 SSD, which is inserted in the PCIe Gen 3 X4 slot that could reach about 2200 megabytes per second speeds with a proper M.2 storage device. And for all of your games, movies and whatnot, it has an extra 1TB regular and 2.5 inch 7200 RPM HGST, or formerly known Hitachi SATA hard drive. And yeah, for some weird reason, it does have an actual prehistoric history book stuff optical DVD drive. Ugh. Why MSI? Why? So much wasted space. Could have been a thinner and lighter laptop without it, or house more storage devices, or more USB ports, which are far more valuable things nowadays. Oh, and it has a 720p 30fps webcam, and I also did a small video clip for you guys, so I'm gonna play it here, I guess. Alright, so this is the 720p web camera that is integrated in this GE62VR 6RF MSI laptop. And I must say that it's looking pretty good, but the frame rate here is yeah, it's not that great. I definitely want to see webcams going to 60 frames per second already. I mean, how hard can it be, right? And yeah, we can definitely turn down the exposure to get a little bit more frame rates, but it's still like, you know, 20 frames per second or something like that. It's pretty bad. But if you don't have a web camera, then this will definitely do for you for some time at least. But yeah, I don't know if it's a wise choice to add a web camera to a laptop if it's not proper 30 FPS or proper 60 frames per second. But yeah, this is the quality here. I can, you know, choose to put some more saturation, take it a little bit more down. But yeah, I mean, overall it's pretty okay, and the sound quality was pretty okay also, so yeah, can't say anything real bad about it. Alright, so now that you've seen the web camera quality, I mean, it's nothing special, but it is there, so That's kind of good. But all of this goodness is brought to life via a 15.6-inch 1080p LCD with an IPS panel, with the option to get a 4K LCD instead. And yeah, the price, I actually talked a little bit about it earlier. It is about 1500 euros in total in Estonia, but yeah, you can definitely get it cheaper when buying from Amazon or eBay, and even cheaper when buying it used. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the ports also. So yeah, they are old hair, but immediatly we realized the deficiency of USB ports. There are just two USB 3.0 Type A ports and one USB 2.0 Type A port. I mean, I'm sorry, but MSI has totally cocked this up. With adding the huge optical drive instead of extra USB ports or storage devices, or both. In any case, we also can find one USB 3.1 Type C Gen 2 port, a LAN port, SD card slot, and of course an HDMI port, which can only output 4K at eye-blinding 30 Hz. But it also has a proper mini DisplayPort, thankfully. Oh, and it also has the 3.5mm audio and mic outputs. The sound, on the other hand, is brought to you by two 2-watt speakers with even a 3-watt woofer built underneath the laptop. Overall, the sound quality was really nice and is brought to you by TheTanelChannel. The keyboard is a typical MSI SteelSeries RGB keyboard, which is absolutely stunning and of course can be configured to be breathable, wavy and so on. And finally, all of this is powered by an external 180-watt power supply unit. And that pretty much covers all the ports and specifications for the laptop. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about the weight and stuff like that. It weighs 2.4 kilograms, which is pretty good. It's a decent weight for a gaming laptop. It's definitely a lot thinner than a GT72 laptop from MSI, and of course thinner than a GT60 which had the 1070, which I also reviewed a while back. And yeah, I also tested out the battery. The battery lasts about an hour while gaming, but you can reach about 2 to 3 hours of web surfing when dimming down the LCD and using all different kinds of power saving options. And in terms of upgradability, I mean, MSI does build their laptops pretty decently, so there's just a couple of screws that you have to screw from the bottom, and you can take the entire bottom cover off and then switch out everything that you need. You don't have to actually dismantle the entire freaking laptop, which is a pretty huge pain in the arse. When trying to add memory modules or a different hard drive to some other manufacturer laptop. So that's a pretty nice little feature. Alright, so now that we have a much better understanding what this laptop has to offer, I think it's time to move on with the benchmarks. So I did run all different kinds of benchmarks like 3D Mark's GTA 5, Tom Clancy's The Division, Hitman Season 1, and of course Battlefield 1. I also ran temperature tests with RealTemp and Crystal Disk Mark to get an idea on how fast the storage devices are. So yeah, let's begin with the Crystal Disk Mark for the different storage devices. The main 256GB Toshiba HG6M.2 SSD received 506 megabytes per second read speeds and about 450 megabytes per second write speeds. That's well, kind of a low score for an M.2 storage device, but it's as fast as the fastest SSD drives. Just the benefit here is that it hardly takes any space in the laptop itself. The M.2 socket can reach about 2200 megabytes per second speeds, so yeah, definitely feel free to upgrade to a faster and bigger drive at will. The other regular 1TB SATA 7200 RPM HGST drive received 104 MB per second read speeds and 131 MB per second write speeds, which is a really nice and fast hard drive for a regular SATA drive, which is only 2.5 inches. Next up, let's talk a little bit about temps, meaning temperatures of the CPU and GPU while browsing the web and while gaming. My room temperature is about 23 degrees Celsius, and while just browsing the web with the laptop on the desk, it averages at about 48 to 50 degrees Celsius on both the CPU and GPU. I mean, I would have loved to see temps in the 30s here, especially because laptops tend to get even hotter when using them in your lap, but it's what you expect when buying a gaming laptop. Now, running the 3D Mark stress test for 20 loops at the Firestrike benchmark, the temps went up to 74 to 83 degrees Celsius on the CPU and 72 degrees Celsius on the GPU. They are both reasonable temps here, considering it is a laptop, and yeah, anything under 80 degrees is good. One CPU core did jump to 83 for a bit, but that was just one of the cores. Alright, finally, let's talk a little bit about gaming also. So, in 3D Mark Firestrike, it received 9,796 points, which is a pretty decent result for a mobile GTX 1060, though a bit shy of that magical 10,000 points. In 3D Mark TimeSpy, on the other hand, which is a DirectX 12 benchmark, it received 3,533 points. Again, which is a decent result for a laptop with a GTX 1060. Now, on to some gaming benchmarking results. Let's start things off with the Grand Theft Auto 5, the fourth and the longest pass on 1080p. With all the graphical options turned to ultra settings, it received an average of 56.2 frames per second. That's near the 60 frames per second average mark, which is absolutely awesome considering that all the graphical features were turned to the maximum settings. Next up is Tom Clancy's The Division, a game that keeps on getting better and better, but also graphically is one of the better looking games out there. Anyway, on ultra settings at 1080p, it received a decent 53 frames per second, which also is close to 60 and is running beautifully on the GE62VR 6RF. On to Hitman Season 1, a nice DirectX 12 benchmark, which main highlight has always been the incredible growl sizes without any huge performance loss. So ran the benchmark on ultra settings 1080p and it received an average of 49.5 frames per second. Not 60, but yet again coming really close to it with the game running on ultra settings. Alright, and last I did run one of the best games of 2016 and the best shooters of recent times, of course Battlefield 1. So I always run my benchmarks on ultra settings and on 1080p with 100% scaling and 200% scaling, which is pretty much 4K resolution. So at 100% scaling it received 82 frames per second average FPS, and on 200% scaling it received 37 frames per second, meaning Battlefield 1 runs perfect on ultra detail but only on 1080p, which is really the maximum resolution anyway for the LCD on this laptop. But even at 4K and ultra detail, it pushed well over the mid-30s. So definitely a little fiddle room there to get it to play even on 60 frames per second at 4K. Alright, so that kind of concludes all the benchmarking and all the specifications and how the laptop feels and is. And yeah, I must admit there's hardly anything bad to say. It is a pretty decent and well-built laptop. But yet again, I have to give it a rating. So yeah, I would have loved seeing it a little bit thinner without an optical drive. and definitely would love to see future MSI gaming laptops without any plastic parts. Anyway, I'm gonna give the MSI GE62VR 6RF Apache Bro an 8.5 out of 10. Solid performance, decent price, and pretty nice design. So yeah, that's gonna be it for my short, hopefully short, little video review from the MSI laptop from the GE62. I hope you enjoyed the video, learned something about the laptop, and now have a better understanding if you should buy it or not. So in my own thought, if I would have some 1500 euros to put on a laptop, definitely one of the better choices out there. But yeah, the main minus for me personally is the plasticky bits and a huge bulky DVD drive, which it doesn't really, you know, hinder my usability. But yeah, laptop definitely could have been a little bit thinner if we take out the optical drive from there. And yeah, I don't want to feel plastic. Is it only me, or do you feel the same? Do you guys like laptops that are made from plastic parts? Yeah, I don't. You know, this part here, I don't know what it is actually. Is it magnesium or something like that? I want the entire laptop being built from this material. Anyway, that's gonna be it. That's enough from me right now. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what do you think about the laptop yourself, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. Over 2500 subscribers already, so going strong. And I'm gonna be back at you with another hardware review or a gameplay video really soon. So stick around on my channel. I'm doing reviews from the coolest things out there, hopefully, and of course playing the newest games out there and giving my feedback. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Ciao for now.